Hi everyone, this is Diksha Singh from Team News Mobile, and today on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas, we have a really special guest with us, and that is retired Colonel Tarun Kumar. He has been an integral part of the war, and today he is here with us to share his experiences and his journey. Welcome to News Mobile, sir. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Diksha, for inviting me. It's such a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Well, in the army, we all have one role, and that is to defend the nation, but we all do it differently. In my case,
Right.
the role was primarily to participate in the war. However, at the last minute, I was appointed or I was selected to be transferred to the National Defense Academy, which is the cradle of military leadership, where
Right.
we were asked that we will be training the youngsters and probably we'll be sending them out because nobody knew at that point in time that how long this particular localized war will last. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of uncertainty. How much time will it take? Nobody knew. The initial reaction was of disbelief. There are a lot of things which are in place. So, of the 1972 Shimla Agreement to the 1999 in February, there was a Lahore Agreement that happened between the President Musharraf and our Prime Minister. And these were
Right.
all considered confidence building measure. It was not that everything was hunky dory or everything was going absolutely smoothly between India and Pakistan. Pakistan
Right.
has been waging a low intensity conflict in Kashmir
Yeah.
because they are not capable of fighting a full-fledged battle. In
Yeah.
one of their assessments, research and analysis wing, just before the Kargil war happened, they had mentioned that our adversary, that is Pakistan, is incapable of launching or having a full-fledged war with India. And
True.
later on, that was in 1998. And in September 1998, they also mentioned and they substantiated this claim by saying that Pakistan is under economic pressure and hence they cannot wage a war. And just in 6 months, they had surprised us.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of disbelief. At the same time, the Josh was very high, I must tell you. The moment we talk about our adversary and somebody who has taken our land, and for soldiers, defending the territorial integrity of our nation is the most important thing. That is of paramount importance. So people
Absolutely.
were, I would say, excited, people prepared. They were looking forward to that, come what may, we will get our land back from our adversaries. The point is very simple. Soldiers are spread or our units are spread all across the India. But
Yeah.
when the mobilization takes place, the biggest challenge is everybody is not present in the unit. There are a lot of tasks, people were doing
Right.
courses. I was in a course. I was in doing a junior leadership course at Army War College in Mau. So there were a lot of things that happen concurrently, but the moment mobilization takes place, and the
Yeah.
most important thing is our adversary had predicted it to be a act of treason or act of thing that was done by rebels or that was done by
Right.
Kashmir separatists. It is only
Right.
later on we were able to pinpoint that Northern Light Infantry, that is a regular Pakistani army unit or the formation, was actively involved in this operation. So
Yeah.
there were a lot of mental games that were being played. There were a lot of confusion. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of gaps which were there. And the most important thing in any war that is going to be fought at an high altitude, terrain happens to be the biggest challenge. So
Absolutely.
mountain terrain of Kargil sector, it presented a significant challenge for surveillance,
Yeah.
for troops to operate. Like if some unit was getting lifted from Punjab or from Rajasthan, they have to go through certain period of acclimatization. You can't just go straight away into a war. But then everything was happening and the frontline troops were being raided, but somebody had to back them up.
Right.
So, high altitude has a very different challenge. Similarly, adverse weather conditions have they make it life very difficult out there. And another important thing was that there was a lot of lack of coordination. If you today, when we look back in the hindsight, we see that intelligence, it was considered to be an intelligence failure, or
Yeah.
wherever the intelligence was, there was a lot of duplication of effort, and there was a lot of gaps that remained. So
Yeah.
it was not a seamless intelligence that was available,
Yeah.
and a lot of entities which were responsible to do that, they were surprised by this maneuver or this kind of a bold act by our adversary. And in
Yeah.
spite of all those
Definitely.
challenges, if you win that war, it's a big achievement. The political will of a country was always maintaining that we should be goody goody with our adversary. We should not be too, they will, what will they feel? And we used to boil and we used to simmer with those things as youngsters, especially that,
Yeah.
when you know that you have the power in your hands and you can
Yeah.
box your opponent out, why somebody is not letting you fight?
Yeah.
Because the political will was not there. But in the instant case, I would say that it was a perfect example of everybody getting shocked, including the political bigwigs, the bureaucracy, and certainly the army. And in such adverse situations, almost everybody came together, and the only focus was that we have to get our territory back. They surprised us in a very, I would say, optimistic move of capturing Indian posts or Indian territory and building posts there, which were part of the Shimla Agreement. So, Shimla Agreement
Right.
stated that whatever the territory, both the parties will honor that, and they will
Yeah.
try and not alter that territory.
Right.
So, it was a misadventure from the Pakistan side to create a lot of disturbances in our ecosystem, because if they would have captured those heights, the road from Srinagar to Leh or to the those forward areas would have severely got impacted, and it would have cut off that particular portion from the
Right.
mainland Jammu and Kashmir. So that was their grand design, and they have been always trying to do that. Army units are like families. So the moment you get inducted into a unit, or you get commissioned, or you join a unit, whether as a soldier or as an officer, you become part of a bigger family where the commanding officer happens to be the head of the family and there are other people. In fact,
Yeah.
we have a saying in the army that we all bond so well together that Diksha, we call ourselves as different brothers from different mothers.
Yeah.
Means my buddy, somebody who's with me, he's willing to take a bullet for me. He'll
Yeah.
ensure that no harm comes to me. And in this kind of an environment, morale and motivation are something which happens naturally. If you try and touch somebody, the whole unit stands up. If you lose one soldier, that day there is no food cooked in the langar. The feeling of nationalism, your feeling towards your motherland is the biggest motivator for us as soldiers to go in for supreme sacrifice. Which means we don't have to coax people. My commanding officer
Yeah.
will come, or when I was the commanding officer, if I come and I ask my soldiers that how is the Josh, I can tell you the sound will go right up till Lahore, and the enemy will start shitting in his pants. That is the kind of Josh my soldiers have, and we all have for our country. Oh, it is always there. There are always naughty elements,
Okay.
and whenever you are having a small break, there would be a lot of, I wouldn't say a loud laughter, but there would be a smile that if we have survived to
Yeah.
this, whichever limit we have survived, so there is a greater meaning for my life to be still there in me. I'm
Yeah.
meant to do something much more important. And it is all being spoken in, I would say, through eyes, through actions, and probably a smile. And to tell you frankly, not even one person is scared at that point in time, because
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that binds us together is trust. So
That's
there
true.
is no such thing called, we 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 look after each other, we speak a lot through our signals, eyes, and other things. And we want that, if anybody who has to die, Diksha, let it be my enemy, he should die for his country rather than anybody else doing it. No, they show a lot of camaraderie, bonhomie. They show a lot of
Mhm.
good things, but then they also show a lot of things, no, which will help them sell that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it is a matter of how beautifully you merge fact and fiction together, and that's what films are meant for. And
Yeah.
they have that, I would say, creative liberty to do it in adequate proportions so that the lines are blurred, and at the end of the day the message gets delivered, and people, they go home with a strong sense of nationhood, probably basking in the glory that we have such beautiful set of soldiers who are defending us, and we can do whatever we feel like. I think from the army point of view, we did the best, and as an
Yeah, definitely.
organization,
But
there was no. When it comes to the civilian state or the civil administration or whatever, I would say that we have a very short memory.
mhm,
So the day
yeah,
the incident happens, everybody comes, they participate. I have seen myself people coming on the railway station and all those places and saying, "Hum aapke saath hain," and all those things. And you just ask couple of those young boys, no, okay, come, let's go. They're not willing to
yeah,
go. People feel that. I
right,
have come across a lot of businessmen, those who say, "Sir, I donate a lot." I said, donating money which you can recover is no, and probably you'll get no tax exemption also. Try
right,
donating your life. And we are not asking anybody. I always, wherever I go, Diksha, I always tell people one thing: be a worthy Indian that a soldier thinks about when he's giving his life. Be a worthy Indian dying for. I always tell youngsters that there are two kinds of soldiers in this world: one who wear the uniform, and the others who don't wear the uniform. Both are equally important. So you might be doing your own job. Do it well. If you are a chartered accountant, you are a doctor, you are an engineer, if you're building bridges, do it well. If you're saving lives, do that particular act well. Don't do it with the intent of that I should earn a BMW at the end of the day. You should be doing it with the intent of that it is a very noble profession and my job is to save lives. If we can get this kind of a mentality where everybody feels committed to the nation, we will be a good society, we will be a good country, we'll be a good nation. And when you keep on telling me that thank you for your services, I always tell people that you were absolutely worth it.